Hey everybody, and welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Friday. Let's give a big yes for Google Stadia and other things.
Oh yeah, baby.
Ooh,
Google Stadia.
very smooth.
We know that Brian has the pipes. This is not a scoop.
Well, it's just good to see somebody use them. That's about the only good news for Stadia in this video. As the streaming service approaches its first year anniversary, happy birthday. New competitors like Amazon's Luna and Microsoft's xCloud have either arrived or they're on their way.
Happy birthday, buddy. Just look over into the distance.
Look at the rabbits.
But yeah, Stadia had this big head start on everybody else. They should be good, right? They've ironed out all the kinks. They're full of games, just smooth sailing. Nah, it's not. It's not that way because, they're still suffering from the same issues that have pretty much plagued it from the get-go. Promised features still haven't arrived, and more importantly, a lack of games, or at least a lack of variety of games.
Yes, Queen. And over on the Stadia subreddit, which is made up of some of the most loyal Stadia early adopters, lots of them sound like they're pretty fed up. These are not Stadia haters, we might add. These are the ones who have been ride or die since the beginning. They're the ones who you'd assume Google is depending on to spread the word about the service. I mean, word is being spread, Google. I assure you that.
No, it's out there.
Instead, though, a lot of them sound like they're about to move on.
Oh, I'm about to move on.
Reddit user Kaide wrote a giant post that summarized all of Stadia's shortcomings and titled it, "As a founder, it is hard to keep faith in Google."
Yeah, they broke it up into subsections with
it's-
headers. I mean, it was a manifesto.
This was like a class project.
Right.
They talked about all the features that still aren't there, writing, almost a year ago, Stadia launched without promised features, Stream Connect, Stat Share, Crowd Play. Months forward, family sharing search bar messages are still nowhere to be seen. And they never will be, Kada.
How the f do you not have a search bar yet?
You're Google. You made the search bar.
You have the biggest search engine in the world, and you don't have a search bar after a year?
It's just so clear that they're not supporting it even a
We
little
don't
bit.
get it. We don't get it. We don't know how to do it.
They're like a rich, petulant child. It's like, don't you want to play with this toy? No.
Right. If you need NSA data vacuuming, though, they're your people to call.
As for games, the service is starting to add more of them, which is good. According to the website Stadia Games DB, it's got more than 90 titles available currently. I came across an old daily of ours when we were talking about Stadia shortly after launch, and one of the lines was, it's got 27 games, 3 of them are Tomb Raider. So they've come a long way, but in which direction?
Come a long way,
I don't know.
baby.
About more than half of those are indies, and while that's not a bad thing, it is a sign that Stadia is leaning heavily on indie games to fill out its roster. As Kaide put it, if Google really wants to expand and keep momentum, they can't keep the impression that they are a cool tech to play indie games at 4K. A toaster can run indie games. Why would someone pay to get into a platform just to play indie games?
Boring. I mean, that's like I say about music. If you're any good, a major label would have signed you.
Exactly.
You'd be Kid Rock. I mean, there's a reason why he's so popular. Yeah, indie games are great. We all love indies, but you can play them anywhere. That's kind of the point. They're mostly multi-plats. We'll talk more about all of Stadia's many problems, but first, let's talk about the good folks at AT&T and their 5G service.
Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is brought to you by AT&T. We want to give a big shout out. We want to give big ups to AT&T for helping us throw RTX this year, because without them, the show would not have been possible. And it was a great show. Being at home did not hamper our efforts to put on a wonderful event. And AT&T's 5G network, it's now available nationwide. Oh my God! Whether you're at home or on the go, you will enjoy coverage in more places. Plus, AT&T does not make it complicated. 5G access is included in all Best Consumer Unlimited plans at no extra cost. What's that? You want more information? Well, just sit down, okay, and relax, because I'm about to tell you where to get it. For more information on AT&T 5G, visit att.com/5G. Again, visit http://att.com/5G for more information on AT&T 5G. Thank you, AT&T. Okay, back to the trash fire that is Stadia. It's not even warm. Why is it here? Things are not going to get better anytime soon because competitors like Amazon are looming on the horizon. Amazon, with its upcoming Luna service, promises that you'll be able to play games on devices you already own. And right now, that's one more competitor that Stadia does not need. Honestly, sitting in the bathroom and reading a shampoo bottle because your phone died is a serious competitor to Stadia.
I wouldn't know. I have New Yorkers on the back of my toilet that I don't read.
Cool.
But
Yeah,
they're
who am
there.
I kidding? I have Jerry Seinfeld's sign language within arm's reach in any room of the house.
You own 16
Yes.
copies of it. The other big elephant in the room is Microsoft, which has been making huge moves. It bought ZeniMax, the parent company of Bethesda, id Software, and Arcane. And it's also adding EA Play to Game Pass at no extra cost.
Plus, Microsoft just launched its xCloud streaming service for Android devices. Reviews so far have been pretty good. I tried it on a cheapy Android tablet. It worked. It was, and there's a much better selection of games already than Stadia. So lots of other companies breathing down Google's neck, so to speak. Is that you?
And it's that competition that's causing a lot of OG Stadia players to look for other options. Lots of them responded to Kata's post and confided that they too were having second thoughts.
But
It's like they're leaving a cult or something. I'm having second thoughts. I would like to leave Jonestown, please.
Reddit user DoubleMP said they bought the original Founders Edition Stadia bundle and wrote, "In a vacuum, I'd be super happy, but there's competition out there and I'd be lying if I said I hadn't considered buying a console for the first time in my life."
I wouldn't be super happy. I'd be like, what's all this dust?
Yeah.
I'm trapped in here with it.
I see, like a vacuum cleaner.
Actually, never mind.
They added, Stadia reignited my passion for games after a decade, but now I crave for more, and it's just not there. So basically they're saying, thanks for getting me back into video games, Stadia, but it's time we see other people. Appreciate it, but I'm
more.
hot now. I went from naughty to hottie, and now it's time to trade up.
Classic
Brian,
tale.
occup-
Classic tale.
Dick-
It's like when they
no, I
put
knew.
large glasses on an already very attractive person.
And a ponytail.
Yeah.
Like it's-
And everyone's like, oh, she's revolting. Get her out of here.
I can't look at her.
She reads books.
Kid Radical, another founder, wrote, as it stands, Google owns no killer IPs, Microsoft now owns 30% of the Stadia lineup, and GeForce Now has ray tracing and gets better every day. I don't see what their strategy is to survive another year.
Kid Radical kind of nailed it. Sounds like a
Radical.
consultant. Yeah.
You looking for work?
If we take out the search bar, no one will be able to find other streaming
That's
services.
it. That's it.
Take out the back button so they can't stop playing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, lots of gamers aren't just going to be loyal to a service. If a better cloud streaming service comes along, it's going to be pretty easy for people to jump ship, especially if it's a better value proposition. If it's like the same price or cheaper for way better value, why
Right.
wouldn't
Luna's
they?
cheaper.
Right.
$5.99.
And they're not going to be loyal to Google. Like, I feel like
Exactly, yeah.
Nintendo probably inspires the most loyalty, like out of it. But the Wii U is a friggin' disaster.
Well, and if Nintendo had a streaming service, that would probably have loyal people, even though it would definitely be a broken mess.
Yeah, but no.
Right.
Or-
Another Stadia founder, Flight72, wrote, I loved Doom on Stadia and crave other new titles, but all the other big titles are just 4 or 5 year old games I already own on other platforms. Why pay again to own them here? They added, I'll give it the rest of the year, just not sure what I'm paying for now.
Maybe that's their plan. It's just the people that forgot they were paying for it. Others brought up a sad reality of playing on Stadia right now. There aren't that many other people to play with. Another founder, Ernest Yogo, wrote, I try to side with Google because I like the convenience of Stadia, but it is heartbreaking to go into a multiplayer game and see no people online to play with.
Even Destiny 2, one of the most popular games on Stadia, that was like their big
Right.
launch title. Was like,
Right.
we have
That's
this
huge, yeah.
3-year-old
Still
game.
has a huge community though.
It does, yeah. That's one of the most popular games. It's pretty bare when it comes to finding others for Crucible matches. If there aren't any other players around, there's kind of no point to the game.
No.
It's just a vicious cycle. You're not going to go
Yeah.
back if no one's playing.
Yeah, I tried to get a Crucible game on Destiny 2 in Stadia this week, and there was nobody, and it just made me feel like an idiot being
Yeah.
the only one there. Like you're the only person in a restaurant, and you're like, "What happened? What
this is
don't I
weird.
The
know?"
food can't
Yeah.
possibly be very
Yeah.
good. I'm the only one here.
Right. Oh, we got one more piece of bad news to add for Stadia. Yeah, not done. To add insult to injury, the newest Chromecast is out right now. It doesn't even support Stadia.
What?
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. The Verge reports that Google officials said that support will be added sometime in the first half of 2021.
Funny.
Right
They're
after they
getting right
figure
on
out
that.
the search bar issue. Yeah, that should give you a pretty good idea of how much they prioritize Stadia right now. They don't even include it on their own new products that they're releasing.
I bet
Good
the
God.
Stadia team didn't even know it was coming out. They had
Probably
to read
not.
about
They
this
probably just
on the,
weren't told.
on the Verge.
Yeah.
And you gotta wonder if this is a bad sign. Because Google has a long history of starting projects with a lot of fanfare and then just abandoning them. There's Google Plus, Google Wave, Google Glass, Google Allo, Project Tango, Google Portfolios, Google Spaces, Google Nexus. You get the idea.
It's not hard to imagine that if Stadia doesn't catch on, Google could pull out. As Stadia user Jordan Lund put it, this is something naysayers have been warning about since the start. Google throws a bunch of stuff at the wall to see what sticks, but they don't really have a vested interest in any of it. Yep, they sure don't.
So, we'll see what happens. Stadia is still here for the moment, still chugging along, but it's starting to lose its core base of support. That's not a good sign. Anyway, have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Hey, everybody, and welcome.
Shut up.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Friday. Let's give a big yes for Amazon.
Okay, I will.
You said Patrick would not do the screen. Screw this. We destroy their planet next month.